was a roundabout way through Columbia Theological Seminary. The Reverend Rata Hamar, who is from India, in a small state in northeastern India called Mizoram. And his country borders on Myanmar. And in that, where those two countries border right there, they speak a common language called Mizo. So when Rata came here to this country, his family joined the church and became a part of our community, and Rata planned on just completing his studies. But then all of a sudden he became aware of others in the community who spoke Mizo, made contact with them, and the next thing we knew, Rata started bringing some of the refugees that came through the United Nations Refugee Program. He started bringing them to church. And then we decided, well, they need a place to have Sunday school. And so we created a space for them. Of course, they did not speak English, but they wanted to come to our English worship service after Sunday school. And so it would help them to learn English as well. So they really did that for a period of about 2 years. And they would come here in a bus, and they would have their Sunday school, and then they would come to worship. And as we got to know them, and as we began to hear their stories, and we began to share with them, we realized that this was an opportunity in front of us. That what a difficult thing it is for these people who left a place of oppression, who left a place of military dictatorship, the journeys they had to take to actually travel from Myanmar through Thailand to make their way all the way to Malaysia was a very difficult and deadly trip for many people. And for them, then they had to wait in Malaysia, and they finally get brought over here, leaving lots of family behind. So we began to reach out to them in many ways and supported them with clothes. We started an emergency fund for them, and as they became more acclimated to us and as we grew to love them, then some of them decided they really wanted to be a part of this church. So what we have done is intentionally in our worship, one of the great things about the Burmese people, they have the richness of their music has enlightens us many times. We've been able to utilize them in our worship service for that. We've used the children and other adults as liturgists. When it comes to, say, the potluck meals, the women down in Hazelwood, when they're setting up for potluck, of course they've done things the way they've always done them for years. But what's interesting is when the Burmese women came in and wanted to help, well, we began to learn that maybe it doesn't have to be done the way we've always done it. Maybe the knife and fork can go in a different location. Maybe we can share something else and we don't have to get out of sorts about it. And we learn that from each other it's okay to let someone else come into our space and become a part of us. Part of what I also recognize is that as their language skills begin to improve, there could be the possibility that as they learn our theology here as Presbyterians, that they may have some disagreements with that, and we may be a bridge for them where they eventually begin maybe their own church, or maybe they embrace our theology. But we look at that as important, that they just don't go blindly into what we are saying and believing, that we need to be helping them understand theologically their beliefs in God and what we believe and what we're preaching and what we're teaching. And if that is something that would make that uncomfortable, then we see ourselves as also being a bridge for new church development as well. So possibly in the future we might be that conduit that helps in the assimilation of people into our country, helping them to overcome many difficulties, and then other churches are formed out of that. Or we may just find that they fully embrace who we are, and we just go on and grow and become a better church because of them being a part of us.
Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore, Sister, help to trim the sail. Hallelujah. Sister, help to trim the sail. Hallelujah. River Jordan is chilly and cold. Hallelujah. Chills the bones but not the soul.
So it's a natural thing we feel to reach out and have that connection where they become a part of us and we become a part of them. I think we're too busy and we miss the moments that God puts in front of us. And they often come to us and we walk right past them. And sometimes we just have to stop and see the face of God in everybody we meet, that somehow they have a story to tell and it's worth listening to. And once you bridge the gap and learn somebody else's story, then things come out of that. Our stories build relationships and they tear down walls. So to me, being a good Samaritan sometimes is just paying attention to what's going on, that God, the places that God has put you, the people that God put you in contact with, and just to pay attention and listen.